I had stated last year that the tax reform is a process, not an event. The process I had outlined in the area of direct taxes was related to draft direct tax code along with a discussion paper. Area of indirect taxes, the reform initiative was the introduction of goods and services tax. I have presented the development in both reform initiatives in Part A of my speech. We have continued on the path of computerization in core areas of the service delivery in the administration of the direct taxes. This will reduce the physical interface between the taxpayers and tax administration and speed up procedures. The centralized processing center at Bengaluru is now fully functional and is processing around 20,000 returns daily. This initiative will be taken forward by setting up 2 more centers during the year. As a part of the government's initiative to move towards citizen-centric governance, the Income Tax Department has introduced Sevattam, a pilot project at Pune, Kochi and Chandigarh through Ayakar Seva Kendras. These provide a single window system for registration of all applications, including those for redressal of grievances, as well as paper returns. This year, this scheme will be extended to 4 more cities. To achieve the rollout of the GST by April 2011, the indirect tax administration of the central and the states need to revamp their internal work process based on the use of information technology. I am happy to inform honourable members that the project assess automation of central excise and service tax has already been rolled out throughout the country this year. This will impart greater transparency in tax administration and improve the delivery of the taxpayer services. Similarly, a mission mode project for computerization of the commercial taxes in the states has been approved recently. With an outlay of rupees 1133 crores, of which center share is 800 crore, the project will lay the foundation for the launch of GST. I mentioned last year that the income tax return form should be simple and user-friendly. The Income Tax Department is now ready to notify Saral 2 form for individual salaried taxpayers for the coming assessment year. This form will enable individuals to enter relevant details in a simple format on only 2 pages. To expeditiously resolve the disputes with the taxpayers, I propose to expand the scope of cases which may be admitted by the Settlement Commission to include proceedings related to search and seizure cases pending for assessment. I also propose to expand the scope of Settlement Commission in respect of Central Excise and Customs so that the certain categories of cases that hitherto fail outside its jurisdiction may be admitted. Last year, amendments to the statute enabled government to enter into tax treaties with specified territories besides sovereign states. We have commenced bilateral discussions to enhance the exchange of bank-related and other information to effectively track tax evasion and identify undisclosed assets of resident Indians lying abroad. Madam Speaker, I shall now deal with the direct taxes. Last year I provided relief to individual taxpayers by enhancing the exemption limit for all taxpayers and withdrawing the surcharge on personal income tax. Taxpayers have responded positively to these concessions by contributing a higher level of taxes. There is a persuasive case for further relief by broadening the current tax slabs, which I propose as follows. Income up to rupees 1.6 lakhs, nil. Present system. Income above rupees 1.6 lakh and up to rupees 5 lakh, 10%. Income above rupees 5 lakh and up to rupees 8 lakh, 20%. Income above rupees 8 lakh, 30%. The proposed broadening of the tax slabs will provide substantial relief to 60% of the taxpayers. To promote savings as well as to ensure their utilization for the thrust area of infrastructure, I propose to allow a deduction of an additional amount of rupees 20,000 for investment in long-term infrastructure bonds as notified by the central government. This would be over and above the existing limit of rupees 1 lakh on tax savings. I am sure this relief will put more money in the hands of individual taxpayers for both consumption as well as saving. Besides, contributions to health insurance scheme, which is currently allowed as a deduction under the Income Tax Act, I propose to allow contribution to the central government health scheme also as a deduction under the same provision. Taking forward my initiative of phasing out surcharge, I propose to reduce the current surcharge of 10% on the domestic companies to 7.5%. At the same time, I propose to increase the rate of minimum alternate tax from the current rate of 15% to 18% of the book profits. This will further promote inter-se equity among corporate taxpayers. The President, in her address to the Parliament in June 2009, had declared this decade as a decade of innovation. Last year, I extended the scope of weighted deduction on expenditure incurred on in-house research and development to all manufacturing business except for a small negative list. To further encourage research and development across all sectors of the economy, I now propose to enhance the weighted deduction on expenditure incurred on in-house research and development from 150% to 200%. I also propose to enhance the weighted deduction on payments made to national laboratories, research associations, colleges, universities and other institutions for scientific research from 125% to 175%. Currently, any payment made to an approved scientific research association is eligible for weighted deduction. The income of the approved scientific research association is exempt from tax. I propose that payments made to approved associations engaged in research in the social science or statistical research would be allowed a weighted deduction of 125%. The income of such approved research association shall be exempt from tax. In my